What's up, you guys? Today we're going to be doing just a pure gear install video. No wheeling. Last couple of videos I've done have been gnarly. Bleeding brake fluid. I'm not mad about doing a real simple indoors install video today. So that's what this is. This is a product from Dasaita. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce this company's name, but I've seen this in some Tacomas, specifically 2019 Tacomas and previous. If you're a Tacoma owner, you know that in 2020, they started supporting Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Prior to that though, they didn't. They did their own proprietary deal. I think it's called Intune. And just being completely frank, it's garbage. Yeah, I don't ever use it. It's not useful, it's buggy, it's not good software. So I was always kind of bummed that I had grabbed my truck in 19 instead of in 20. It's a simple thing, you know, you can get around it, you put your phone on a mount and have access to all the apps, so it's not the end of the world. But for me, I just really wished that I had the integration. So this company reached out to me and they make a aftermarket product that essentially gives you the modern capabilities of Apple CarPlay without the cost. If you've done any research on this, you know that these units are very expensive from companies like Sony and others. And so the fact that they have this product and it is relatively inexpensive compared to the others, I was super stoked to try it out. So complete transparency, heads up, they did provide this product to me in exchange for some content, but I'm gonna put it in my truck and I'm gonna run it, and if it's good, it's gonna stay there, and if it's not, you're gonna see my old unit back in the truck. But I have a feeling I'm gonna like it. It's got a little thank you card here. We've got, these are your installation steps, and it shows what vehicles this is available for. So it's actually several Toyota models, not just the Tacoma, which is interesting. Okay, this is once it's up and running. This is going to tell you how to do the basic functionality and actually use the software in the head unit. And then you have your deep dive, use your manual in various languages. Okay, so that's your paperwork. Let's see what we got in the box here. Foam. We have your various accessory cables. This is gonna be your power cable. If you've ever replaced the head unit or moved it out to maybe connect like a new backup camera or something, you know it's an absolute bird's nest of cables back there. It's a mess and gives me anxiety looking at it. There's a million ports, a million cables that have to be connected to, and so that's what all that is. And all that is. Told you it's a bird's nest. And then I'm thinking this might be the actual unit itself. Okay, now this is interesting. I didn't know this, but it looks like this is going to actually replace the plastic inset in the dash and where your air vents go. So that's kind of nifty. And you know, that makes sense now that I'm looking at this, because the screen is larger than the factory screen. So it wouldn't fit into this portion of the vehicle. I'm curious if this is gonna match. That might be something that kind of bugs me if it doesn't. But regardless, I mean, it's cool that it all clips in there. Here's the unit. This is where all of these cables are gonna connect. You have it actually have a little HDMI input here if you wanted to hook up a gaming console or something. Definitely would not recommend doing that while you're driving. I don't know that I'm even gonna worry about making that accessible. So that's really it. There's not a ton of stuff going on here. We've got this piece here, which is the actual brains and the dash plastic. We've got our bird's nest, cable management, and paperwork. This should be a really simple install. So let's go out to the truck and start removing the old stuff. As you can see, I've got some attachments here. I'm just gonna remove this. I love these little mounts, by the way. If you have a Tacoma, these are by Honda Garage. Super cool. I think this is gonna come off with this still attached. We're just gonna see. Boom, sure did. Okay, so that's the first thing we're gonna do there. We're actually gonna save these red clips. That is gonna go on the other unit. So I'm gonna put this aside. We're gonna use that here in a minute. And then I need a, oh man, this is dusty. I need a 10 millimeter to take this out. So I'm gonna go grab that real quick. All right, I got a co-pilot with me now and a little bit easier way to do this. People will say not to use power tools, but they always say that, and I always do anyways.
Dad, what is this?
That is, we took this part off, I'm gonna replace it. So next, what you're gonna do is pull this out.
What? It's a bit disgusting there, but not.
It's a little bit disgusting in here. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna unplug each of these guys.
Which guys? Can I plug one? Can I unplug one?
Most of this is gonna be running via CarPlay off of my phone, which makes, I think, most of these antennas irrelevant because they're gonna be using the ones on my phone, right? It has been a minute, but I think I've got this all wired up, and I powered it on and it's working. The only issue I'm having is my steering wheel controls are not functioning properly. All right, so here's the moment here. We all love this. Beautiful. Let's get back over here to CarPlay. So yeah, boom. We got CarPlay in the car. It's pretty cool. I've still got to work out the steering wheel controls. I think that's a program setting that I'm gonna have to do. But yeah, it looks cool. I dig it. I wonder what happens if let's try to make a phone call.
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm to shoot a little nighttime driving with the unit. And it looks good. You know, I was expecting like a low resolution panel and like it not to be super bright or but man, it's great. And it's actually dimming itself like they do right now because of the low ambient light. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell it's not as high quality as a phone or like an iPad or something when you swipe on it. You know, there's some latency and some lag, but I mean, everything works pretty well. It's capacitive, it's not pressure. The screen isn't a pressure touch screen. It yeah, I mean, there is some latency, so I mean, it's obviously not going to be like a super high-end version, but for what this thing costs and what it gives you, I'm definitely not mad at it. It's a cool product. I've got my big helper with me. We got all installed. This is the next day. We've tested it out now a couple times today and a couple times last night, and I'm really pleased with the product. Install was a lot easier than I anticipated. Only thing I've got left to figure out is the steering wheel controls, which I do like the ability of turning the volume up and down. Want to get that dialed in. Otherwise, I don't use those controls for anything. Everything I do is voice activated, but I do want volume control back, so I gotta figure that out. Otherwise, I'm super pleased with the product. It looks good. It functions well. You know, for the price point, it's a killer way to add CarPlay to a 19 or previous Tacoma. So if you're looking for something like that, you don't want to spend the $1,500 on a Sony version or you know, one of the more high-end ones. This is a great way for you to do that. Are you gonna groom me now? You gonna make me look nice for the video? We're gonna roll with it. If you're interested in the product, check the description down below for a link. You can save a little bit off of it and I get a kickback, so it's a win-win. And I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Shout out to our members. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you want to be a member, click that join button and you can get access to some cool content that otherwise is not public. Shout out to our sponsors. Thank you guys. Links to all of their company websites down below. And I'm trying to hit 10K subscribers, getting real close. I appreciate you guys liking and subscribing and helping me achieve that goal. That's awesome. But more importantly, remember, the more you camp, the less deer
Are done?
the aliens abduct. We're done. We're done.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good week.